Our next panelist is from the Food and Nutrition Service at the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Please welcome Jimmy Nguyen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jimmy, and it's good to be here. I'm going to talk about food waste. And my goal here today is to get you all thinking more about food waste. When we talk about sustainable buildings and net zero, you think of green roofs and solar PV, super insulation. But my question to you is, if your building, or even if your household is sending out thousands of pounds of food waste to the landfill, is your building really sustainable or green? And as you can see on that slide, food waste is a big problem. We waste about, 31% of our food supply post-harvest goes uneaten, and 21% of that happens at the consumer level, which includes restaurants, and then 10% of that happens at the grocery store, supermarket, retailer level. And all the resources that goes into producing our food, the labor, the fertilizers, the pesticides, and the land, for all of those inputs and to produce that food and for that food to go to a landfill, that's just an incredible waste of our resources, not to mention the wildlife or the habitat destruction and the loss of our wildlife, floral and fungal sources that's happening at a staggering rate. So why fight food waste? To mitigate climate change. So after we send that food waste to a landfill, it begins to rot and emit methane, which is a potent greenhouse gas with a global warming potential that's about 20 times more than carbon dioxide. And food waste is the single largest component going into landfills right now. So the worst thing you can do is send food to a landfill. That's the worst thing, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that buildings and you as a household can do to reduce, recover, and recycle food waste. The second thing I want to talk about is hunger. I work for the Food and Nutrition Service, and I promote our nutrition assistance programs like SNAP, which is formerly known as food stamps, summer meals program, school meals. So I know that hunger is real in America. 14.3% of households in America in 2013 found it difficult at sometime in 2013 found it difficult to put food on the table. That's about 49 million Americans. So food is real, hunger is real, yet 31% of food goes uneaten. So if we recover some of the food that is sent to landfills, the wholesome, uneaten, nutritious food, and recover it and donate it to hunger relief organizations, then we can also fight hunger. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of the federal legislation that promotes food recovery. First, we have the Bill Emerson Good Samaritan Act. I know that's a long act, so you can reduce it to the Good Sam Act. It sounds a little bit better. But that provides liability protection to food donors, the supermarket, the restaurant, and also the food recipient, which is the food bank, the food pantry, the soup kitchen. And the University of Arkansas School of Law actually did research to see if anyone tried to pierce this liability shield, and they didn't find any judicial cases or claims that tried to sue the food donor or the food bank or the food pantry for damages from that donated food. So if any restaurants or cafeterias or supermarkets say that they're worried about liability, really that should not be an issue, especially with the Bill Emerson Good Samaritan Act, which was passed in 1996. We also have the U.S. Federal Food Donation Act of 2008, and all food contracts over $25,000 for events and other conferences, it encourages the contracting officer to accept the bid that puts in their language that they will donate the excess food from those events. We also have the GSA Federal Concessions Sustainability Guidelines, but it doesn't really talk about food waste. You see in there, in quotes, it does mention composting, but if we add new language in there that encourages some of the food service companies that are bidding for the contracts in our federal cafeterias to put in their steps of how they're going to reduce, recover, and recycle food waste, then that would be huge. At the USDA, we do a good job of actually reducing, recovering, recycling food waste. In our cafeteria, as you can see, there's some ways that you can reduce food waste in the back of the house and in the front of the house. In our USDA cafeteria, which serves about 300 people every day, from 2:30 to 3 p.m., there's actually a happy hour where food is sold at 30% discount so that some of the employees can buy the food and take it home and eat it for dinner, and that reduces food waste. And like Wanda, we also have a pyramid, an upside-down pyramid, that shows you the most preferred ways to fight food waste. And first is reduction. Obviously, if you don't produce the waste in the first, oh boy. So recovery is the second step, and then recycling is down there. If you can't reduce, recycle, or if you can't reduce, recover, you should think about recycling it. So that's all. Thank you.